So this is I'm going to try to see if I could make this the last one. This has to be the last one today, or if not today, tomorrow. After Friday, I'm not going to play this game again. I don't care if it's 100% complete. So I'm going to try to rush things as much as possible. I mean, I kind of got done with this game after Iris died, and I realized it had multiple branching paths. Which the intention was for it not to show me the killer right away, was to lead me down the road to continue to blind me, not allow me to get to where I need to get to. I had to painfully go through all these things and keep doing somnium scans over and over and over again. That is not fun. The somnium part of the game is not fun. If you want a game to call AI Somnium Files, majority of the Somnium world has to be the majority of the game, not the real world. Otherwise, if most of the real world is the whole thing, then the Somnium Files is simply like the frosting on the cake. I always use that to describe things, sugarcoat frostings, or at least things to block your path. It's because they're not the relevant textured stuff, the most important. They're simply there as the touch ups or to add flavor to it. And it's not done in a good way. Renju being the obvious killer that I said from the beginning is not good. He told me being the obvious killer because she's very suspicious and they put it off that way is not good. So they can't make people who are the most obvious the obvious, even though he told me kind of comes off as. And so Sejima, the obvious killer, shouldn't be the obvious killer. Everyone they're placing in front of you as obvious killers should not be the obvious killer. Because if you do it that way and say the killer was in front of you the whole time, then it's pathetic because this is not the old back in the days where world where you didn't know or suspected those who were around you from the very start. You know, if you make a video game or if you make a movie and stuff following that logic, you're gonna fail even before you get to the halfway point. I don't know why people do that crap anymore or why they're still doing it, but it's not fun. It's not entertaining. Like you're supposed to build the suspense towards a killer and slowly leading towards the killer, either by breadcrumbs or by hints. But those hints are supposed to be subtle and somewhat invisible, so let you think and start to piece things together. They're not supposed to be obvious hints. They're supposed to be subtle hints or invisible hints, things attached. You're not supposed to just drop someone into the game like Sojima and then automatically have the character Date say, "Oh, so was affiliated with you know, the the warehouse. I mean, not the warehouse, the power plant that went um, nuclear and stuff." Like I already knew that from the beginning. The moment Soul was dropped in, even before it was proved that Soul was dropped in, he had something to do with that. And then the game drop in something like a shady organization hiding in the background. We haven't heard anything about this shady organization hiding in the background except something that ASET came up with. You know that, and you don't even know if that's real. You just believe it's real because the game won't just put random things in there to be random. It has to have meaning and connections to things. It's just that it does not. It's not going to be executed in the way that you want it to. I mean, if you're going to throw in a shady organization, science, and so on and so forth, there have to be at least more information with regards to them as for each chapter. The only thing we've gained with regards to shady organization, science organization, is that they might be attached to the higher ups of the police force, which is obvious. Even before HQ was wanted Dante to close out the case and not investigate more into Sojima already not before that happens, because those are the things that obviously go into your brain before it happens. You don't need the game to slowly lead into those things. Those are things that are called hints and breadcrumbs. And now, at least I could say, at least I could say my four main suspects were still in Bloom are still kind of suspects. Like even all the way to this point, I crossed them off, but they still have some relevance. I mean, I don't believe it's Hitomi, but if it turns out to be Hitomi, I'm going to be pissed off. Actually, so the whole time for all these different branching paths, I'm going to be pissed off. Or Renju for all these branching paths, I'm going to be pissed off. Because you don't do that dumb shit anymore. That's something you did in the past to, stir up confusion or to say, well, that's how the killer was. Like, why do the whole breadcrumbs thing or lead-in thing if you're going to present the person right in front of you and you make the person who are watching the game or watching the movie or something like automatically think to themselves, well, why are you even doing this, man, if you're going to create this whole facade? Because I know you're creating a facade. So why are you creating the facade? Why are you even wasting my time? So if it turns out not to be Hitomi, which is leading into probably being, but if it's turned out not to be Hitomi, I'll be happy because then that means they're not following the trope. If it turns out to be not to be Sho Sujima, then I'll be happy because they're not following the trope. If it turns out not to be Renju, I'll be happy because they're not following the trope. But if it turns out to be any one of these three people or Mayumi or someone like Mama, like then I'll be upset because then you're following the trope. You're not creating a true mastermind killer. You're just following something that someone else did in some you saw in some movie or something, following that stupid formula, and you think it's interesting. You're like something like in Star Wars. You give light exposition and convolution, and the easy win, the easy paycheck. Let's go for the easy layup. I will make a lot of money real quick, real easy with the easy layup. So I can't be down with the stuff like that, man. If you're going to make a good sci-fi or horror or anything slash mystery, your killer has to have texture to them, rich texture from its foundation, moving up. Cannot be something that's easy. And if it turns out to not be anybody that I think, and it turns out to actually be Aiba slash Dante, then I'll be satisfied. Then I'll be satisfied if it actually turns out to be Dante slash Aiba or the boss. If it's Dante or slash Aiba or the boss, I'll be satisfied. If someone like Pewter, someone like Hitomi, someone like Reju, someone like So, someone like Prisoner 89, I won't be satisfied because those are always the obvious ones that that you should always cross off because they're so stupid and they're ridiculously placed in the game and they make no sense to be going back and forth with them to for the people who made the game to like, oh, just to put them there to like confuse you, but like stop doing the confusing garbage. I know what you're doing. But I guess I got to keep going along. So I'm going to just use the restroom for 1 minute and then I'll continue on this nonsense. I just want this game to be over. I really don't think it's Hitomi because it's so stupid if it turns out to be Hitomi. I don't want it to be Renju, but thankfully he got killed, so it wasn't Renju. Turned out not to be Pewter either, thankfully. It wasn't Pewter that I wanted. And President 89, also I was able to cross off. So thankfully those people that I didn't want end up not being. But then the game went forward and made it So Sujima being the original Cyclops killer. But I don't give a shit about something that happened in the past. I give a shit about the current Cyclops killer, the person that killed Shoko and Nadami. That's who I care about. I don't care about what So did in his past and his fascinations and his bizarre quirks. Why he was interested in murdering women as well as letting Rohan take their eyes out. I don't give a damn about what any of that stuff means. I give a damn about the motivations of the Cyclops, the new Cyclops killer, the new killer. If it's related to what So is doing, then you have a copycat. But there's certain unforeseen things or unexplained things. One, he told me probably was there when those murders would happen. Two, and he said was also probably there when those murders happened. And three, I mean, you can't throw something in like, oh, so it seems like Aset saw this in her head that Rohan was killing someone and taking their eyes, and so was there. How would Aset not notice if she wasn't presently there, physically there, to see it? You cannot. The game itself say you cannot make up stuff, so she had to be. Those things has to be explained. So saying, Dante is her son has to be explained. You know, it makes more sense if Dante is the actual killer because that means that Ibo was messing with his head, which means via Pewter was messing with his head, which means via the organization was forcing Pewter to do certain things, messing with his head, or AKA the boss making Pewter to do those things. That's why I'm saying the little back and forth with Hitomi and the boss seems more logical for them to be a killer, but I just don't want it to be Hitomi. I prefer it to be the boss. But if it turns out to be neither Hitomi or the boss, then the only person left is Date. I'll be cool with that if it's Date. But I don't want it to be Hitomi, but the game is going towards Hitomi. I prefer it to be the boss or Dante. I mean, I even would prefer that it turns out to be Aset in the end. Like I said it before, who I really thought the killer would be. I really think the killer is the boss. That's who I really think it is. Because that's who I want it to be. Not because that's what really is. That's who I want it to be. Who I really think it is that I don't want it to be might be who the game makes it be. Hitomi. And if the game doesn't want you to have what you want or what you believe that the game thinks that it'll have, neither what you want or what you believe the games have, then you cross out both of those things. The last person that left off at the end is Dante. It's as simple as that. That's how I came to my conclusion in all the videos before, and I'm still sticking to it right now. I want Boss to be the killer simply because I need Boss to be the killer, because then that makes the game more enjoyable. But if it's not Boss, it'll be the obvious, which the game is trying to do on the trophy bullshit. He told me. But if it's neither one of them, then I can accept that it's Date, and the game could be over, and I could accept it, and I might give it a couple of points for it. Or if it's accepted as it's actually being aced, I can accept that. I don't want it to be the trophy people. I don't want it to be Renju. I don't want it to be So. I don't want it to be Hitomi. I don't want it to be the easy layups, because that's pathetic. So I'll just use the restroom and continue moving forward.
Tsujima. Why? Why? Boss? What's going on here? Why did Boss kill So? Shoko was killed around 5 p.m. Friday. What was Boss doing at that time?
Unknown.
What about Saturday, 8 p.m.?
The time Renju was killed? Similarly unknown.
Iris and Ota were killed at different times. I was watching the stream on the call with Boss.
Only the first few minutes. The polar bear had not yet appeared on stream. It is possible that she made the call from somewhere off camera.
Where was Boss's phone at the time? Check her cell records.
Date, I know where the boss is. I have picked up her GPS.
Where?
She is now at the Sagan residence. Somewhere inside Hitomi's house.
I'm telling you, I'm saying it again. I'm saying it again. I don't want it to be So Tsujima. I mean, all these branching timelines that are happening are simply happening to fool you. This person's the killer, that person's the killer, this person's So is the killer, you know, Asa is the killer, Hitomi is the killer. All this bullshit is going on, pulling you away from Shoko Nadami's true killer. But if all of these different ones pulling you away still lead to So Tsujima as the killer, like, he's the worst killer of all times, man. He was just dropped in the game, and then all of a sudden, he became suspect number one. It's like literally dropped in one episode, and he was the main suspect to be the killer. It cannot be So, because So is now being killed off by someone else. So let's say, for instance, So had like an accomplice. Not like Rohan, more like someone he trained, like a young Padawan or something like that. And then eventually the person became the new Cyclops killer. Who could that person possibly be? The boss? Hitomi? Date? I mean, at this moment, all these branching timelines, next thing you know, I might get another branching timeline showing like Date blowing somebody else's head off, or blowing So's head off. You know, I have no idea where this game is going right now. It's like over the whole goddamn place, and it's trying to put it off like it's organized. It's basically giving all this information from the various branch timelines to say certain things that happened. So, in one timeline, we saw Aset dead on the table. Or should I say Aset dead in the sight machine. And someone pulled their eye out. Someone following in So bullshit footsteps from the based on one branch timeline. So whoever this person is following his footsteps or at least using it as a way to fool people. That's the connection to a So and that timeline. That So somehow has something associated with Iris in the past, or something associated with Iris. Because even if Iris doesn't know So, So probably knows someone associated with Iris in the past, or someone that looks like Iris in the past. Now, there's not many things that was revealed to that point, and there's many characters in the game that stated that there are people they know that have died, or like Mayumi's husband died from cancer. What's her name? Hitomi's friend died in the past, and I'm pretty sure Renju and Shoko had people who died that they knew from the past as well. Those people haven't been stated yet. So let's say, take for instance, we take Mayumi's husband. He died in the past from cancer and stuff. Could have done anything during that process, during that time period. Or Hitomi's friend died in the past. She could have done anything during that process. How are all of these connected towards, Cyclops killer in the past, shows Tsushima and stuff? It's because they're all connected to So in some ways, because he was the person that did that stuff to that power plant. So any one of these people could have taken revenge or been associated with him because due to what he did for that power plant. So you don't know that. That's the only true mystery of the game. The people from the past associated with So and whatever organization So was associated with, which is the Kamakuras. Because it's not going to tell you what So and Rohan did personally before Momo took over Kamakuras. It's not going to tell you that. It's going to keep that as the true secret towards the end. So the only thing I could come up with at the moment is to hold on to my suspects. I could cross out Pewter because Pewter's not involved. He's just possibly helping those associated with being involved. Same as Prisoner 89. It's helping those, or helping the killer, or those associated with the events that happened leading up to Cyclops Killer, the new Cyclops Killer, as well as Renju. So I could cross those three guys off permanently, at least. I can't cross off Hitomi. I can't cross off Aiba / Date, because Aiba could actually be controlling Date, because Date have a screwed up mind under the direction of Pewter / the boss. And the boss takes her orders from shady organization which haven't heard anything about. So let's say for instance boss is the new killer, as it's trying to pull off now. Is it really the boss or a shady organization trying to cover something by using the boss? Because yes, technically it would be the actual boss, but the person much bigger than the boss is the one giving the orders. So the boss might be the Cyclops killer, but might be the organization itself. This is the most likely suspect as the person who was actually mainly responsible. Not responsible for Shoko Madama's death, but responsible for cover-up. So the big bad guy will always be the organization, but the sub-bad guy, the person that did Shoko in, could probably be the boss. I said could probably be because based on rank timelines, it will turn out she might not be a killer in another one. Who knows? All I know is that I want it to be the boss. That's what I want. I want it to be the boss. I don't want it to be Hitomi, because that's too obvious. But it's leaning towards these two characters more than anyone else. Hitomi and the boss. I'll be surprised and satisfied if it turns out to be A-Set. I mean, I already knew from the beginning A-Set was also an obvious, but she's an obvious I could accept. She's not an obvious like Renju, or an obvious like Sho, or obvious like Hitomi. She's an obvious I could accept due to circumstance leading towards her. And Date / Aiba, I could accept that, because I could accept that he's being used
and this is all fantasy in his head by someone like the boss or the shady organization. And the boss is kept in the dark, and Pewter's kept in the dark, and he's being manipulated through the shadows. I could accept that. So let's push forward. You see how it's making the boss out to be the new killer now? So this is when you're removing the spotlight off the boss, and it started to shine more on Hitomi, because while all of a sudden, see, I'm going on to the branch timeline right now. I'll go into the branch timeline with a flowchart right now. So I'm right here, and I finished this one at the end, and this one at the end, and yet there's another one all the way up here. It says classified. This is locked, and the person in this image is prisoner 89. And the ones aligned leading to here was Hitomi's. We started from Hitomi's scene. Moving from Hitomi's, began investigation into Hitomi, because the game was trying to say Hitomi was the killer too, going all over the place, which it'll probably turn out to be anyway. But it's going playing that game, and then it turns out that it's basically the game says it's not Hitomi. She was just trying to cover up something with regards to her friend. But then all of a sudden, Date goes to the warehouse, I believe he finds Renju, his eye gouged out on the table, and this is yet another timeline where Renju is killed in a different way by someone, and now it's putting how Renju was killed by someone, and then it has Hitomi in the warehouse and prisoner 89 in the warehouse. So it's kind of obvious they just showed up there and they found Renju, and then all of a sudden Dante get knocked out the same way it was trying to do that cheap garbage with Ota when Ota knocked him out. So I don't know where the hell the game is going by going all over the place, but it's starting to piss me off, you know. Like, if it's the boss, just tell me it's the boss already, god damn it. If it's Hitomi, just tell me it's Hitomi already. Alright, don't tell me so, because I know it's not so. He's the psyop killer of the past. I don't give a damn about the dude from the past. I care about the person who's killed Shoko Narami now. That's who I care about. I don't care about Rohan either. I care about what's going on now. Lead me to the character that's going on now. Already pieced together the things from the past. It just keeps giving me more timelines and more branch time. Each time I unlock something, it gives me even more branch timelines. It's annoying as hell. And the Somnium in the world is not helping it. It doesn't help it. Look, if it turns out to be Date, great. If it turns out to be Asa that I thought from the beginning of the game, also great. But if it turns out to be anyone else other than Date, Asa, or even the boss, I'm not cool with. The game wants me to believe it's Hitomi. I don't want it to be Hitomi. I want it to be the boss. But when does anyone get what they want? That's why I'm probably not going to get what I want. It's not going to be the boss. You are here now that I'm seeing right here might not even be the boss. She might not be the killer. I'm not going to get what I want. Boss is not going to be a killer. It's going to lead towards Hitomi or towards Date or something like that. Or Asa. Like I'm saying, I'm cool with it if the people who I think are the killers, but I didn't really want to be, I think are the killers. I'm cool with it. I won't like it, and I think the game is average, but I'm cool with it. I'm not going to fight against it. You know, I got to this point in the game, I'm not going to fight against it anymore. I had my 4 suspects. I did process of elimination, but I never got rid of them 100% because I know branch timelines, things don't go the same. But if someone, like I said, if someone was to ask me who I think the killer is, whether you care about it or not, I will always say Hitomi. But then someone asked me, like, who you want to be the killer? I will always say the boss. And then you said, then if someone was to ask, well, if you're not giving the crowd answer, and if you're not giving your personal answer, the overall answer and your personal opinion, if you were to cross out both those things, who would be the most logical one? The same as I said before from the very beginning, Aset or Date. So if it turns out to be Aset or Date, I'll be satisfied. But it cannot be Renju. It cannot be Sou Shijima. And it cannot be Hitomi. Any of these people will just piss me off. But it's going towards Hitomi, man. That's what's upsetting. Just like it was going towards Renju and Sou. It's just, to me, it's just poor writing in that sense. So let's continue.
Hitomi! Hitomi! Ima, call boss's phone.
On it. Boss's phone.
Oh, shit.
Kaname Date, you were under arrest for murder.
What the hell?
Drop your weapon. Comply!
Boss?
I could ask you the same thing. You killed Shoko Nadami, didn't you?
That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Don't lie. I don't know. She was gone when I got here.
Why did you come here?
Why would I tell you? Are you kidding me?
You're the new Cyclops killer.
What? Why do you think that?
You put a gun to So's head and pulled the trigger. I saw it with my own eye.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop lying!
This is going nowhere.
Are you going to fight?
I have no choice.
I recommend against it. You have zero chance of winning a firefight.
Well then, what can I do?
Let me think. Date, what is that on the kitchen table? Could it be your favorite thing?
What?
The magazine.
You want me to look at a magazine now?
Just look.
Can't be. This is the stuff of legends. Only the most die-hard fans have ever laid eyes on it.
You're coming with us!
Damn!
It's over.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying with regards to this game. Why is every single firefight, porn or anything that has to do with perversion has to do with disrupting cops or bad guys or anyone? Like, what relevance does that have whatsoever? I know it's his quirk, but it's not the cop's quirk. It's not the Yakuza's quirk. The game is basically saying every single man or woman or whoever in the game wants to watch porno. Like, and even if that's the case, but like, how could you make that relevant in a game that will be a distraction towards everyone? Like, every time you're in a firefight, that's going to be used as a distraction. It's dumb. Okay, let's say we remove the porno stuff. Let's say we put piece of cake. Dante cannot shut up about cake, or not even cake. Let's say sugar canes. No, not even sugar canes. Better choice. Okay, a bag of sugar. No, it's not that good. How about a stapler? Yeah, a stapler is boring as hell. Makes no damn sense. No, no one would give a shit about staplers. Okay, a comic book. Let's say a comic book, not a porno, a comic book. Because the people who say the people who are into games love comic books. So they decide to use a comic book instead of porno. That this guy is into comic books. Are you telling me in every single situation, even though the main character is into comic books, that all these other cops are also into comic books, and the Yakuza are into comic books, and every single man in the game is into comic books? What about cars? Let's replace the comic books with cars. Toy cars. Or not even. Let's replace the toy cars with, say, what's a good activity? Horse racing or polo. Yeah, let's try polo. No, or cricket. Let's use cricket. Cricket as an example. Let's say Dante is really into cricket, and he loves cricket. He loves wearing the pads. He loves hitting the ball. He loves running. He loves the cricket. He loves the sport of cricket. Let's say that's his thing. And from the beginning of the game to now, he doesn't have to pay attention to big-breasted women. Let's say the big-breasted woman that Lemon Escape wasn't a big-breasted woman. It was a robot that looked like a cricket. And let's say all the women on the wall in those bars and stuff were nothing but crickets, like people playing sports of cricket. Are you telling me in every single location you went to, even now in Hitomi's house, like Hitomi's into porno as well? Like Hitomi's, like say Hitomi's into cricket as well. How is it possible that Hitomi can be into cricket and Dante's into cricket? So are you telling me Renju's into cricket as well? And So Shijima is also into cricket as well? This game is fucking pathetic. Like, not. How can every single goddamn person be into cricket or into rugby or into cake or into basketball or into pizza? Whatever you're using, they're using that singular thing for every single damn thing that they're doing. From every conversation they have, to every scene they have, to even the action scenes, and even in Somnium World. The same thing over again. If it's not porno, it's cricket. If it's not cricket, it's cake. If it's not cake, it's bowling. Let's use bowling as an example. Bowling ball. In every single place is bowling inside Somnium World. Someone's talking about fucking bowling. This game is pathetic. That's why I'm leaving it at 6. When people are saying this game is a good investigative game, like, maybe in your mind the investigative part of the game is good, which is not, is average, but everything else is shitty. And this whole countdown to like pressing a button.
Dante, what is that on the kitchen table?
What?
The magazine.
You want me to...
Just...
Can't this...
It's like if that magazine was simply like... It doesn't even matter, man.
Whoa! Limited edition!
It's like baseball or something. Like limited edition baseball cards or something. Hey, everybody's into baseball or something, you know? Shoko's into baseball, Hitomi's into baseball, Renju's into baseball. They couldn't think of anything for every other character to be into in this game. The same goddamn thing.
Fireball bullets. Shoot at the cloud.
Why?
Just do as I say, and fast. She is probably just unconscious. Her right shoulder and left leg suffered damage, but she will live.
A dust explosion, huh? Good thinking.
Thank you.
But you could have just had me throw the bag of flour.
That would have been too slow. To improve your reaction time, I had to improvise.
Mm-hmm. Anyway... Hey, this is just...
Boss is still unconscious. However, her brainwaves are stable. Syncing with her shouldn't be an issue.
Date, talking to her would be You do know that, don't...
I had him put back behind bars.
In Fuchu prison.
That's right. I couldn't keep him here. Because I know that the boss is my enemy. I got the video from Aiba. I processed it and found that it showed no sign of tampering or editing. Which means there can be no mistake. The boss shot and killed So Sejima after pulling out his left eye. That makes the odds of her being the culprit behind the other murders very high. Or maybe she had accomplices. Either way, she's a criminal. That's why I am cooperating with you, Special Agent Date. I want it as bad as you do. the truth. She has broken her right shoulder, as well as the fibula of her left leg. But her brain is perfectly healthy. You can sync with her.
Computer, are the preparations done?
Ready anytime.
Let's get started.
Dante.
I know. 6-minute time limit. I'll be back before time's up.
Well then, let's begin.
Time to loosen up.
Do you always have to come in like that?
It is of the utmost importance.
At a time like this?
Times like this are perfect. Anyway, it appears to be an abandoned factory of some kind.
What could Boss be hiding here?
Somnium scan. Activate. A rusted metal door. It is no use. The ice pick will not work as a key. A rusted metal no use. A rusted metal door.
You have 3 minutes, Dante.
A rusted metal.
Break the lock with that.
Roger. I will try. It worked!
All right, open it.
Several keys have fallen.
One of them must be the right one.
I do not have time to try all of them.
Hopefully there's some kind of sign.
Indeed. Date. A rusted metal.
Break the lock with...
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
Whoa!
Doesn't look like this is it.
It could be related to what we saw beyond the door. key. The ice pick is next to this key. It appears to be correct.
That's what I said.
The tag is labeled A.
I was right. Give me some credit.
That must mean we can use this key for...
Come on.
A door that looks like... A door that looks like we... Perhaps we can use the key I just...
Yeah, try that.
It opened! Odd. Isn't this the third floor? What is going on here?
Looks like the floors are connected in a weird way.
Quite the troublesome dream.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
A door with...
That might have been a little much.
This is the second floor, but it is clearly not the door I just opened.
It's like a maze. I have to remember what door goes where.
Door C. It doesn't appear... Oh, we're on the second floor again.
We leave the second floor and come right back to it? This is confusing.
Door E.
You have 3 minutes, Dante.
An oil drum hung with wire. Oh,
Guess you should check that door.
a rusted metal... It does not appear to be locked. This again.
So we can't just grab one. We have to be careful.
Less than 1 minute. Hurry!
It's a key with a watch beside it. The hands indicate it. Is this the correct answer?
Saturday night at 8 matches Renju's estimated time of death.
D is written on the tag. Date, there... rusted metal...
Break the lock.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
It's a key. Whoa!
Doesn't look like this is...
It could be related. It's a key.
That's no good either.
Date, please. Do you...
Of course I...
It's a key.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
A door that looks like... A door with... Door seat... It doesn't appear to... Oh! An oil drum. Oh,
Guess you should check that door.
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry!
a rusted metal door. It does not appear to be locked. It's a key with a watch. The hands indicate. Is this the correct answer? D is written on the tab.
Less than 1
D
minute.
door.
Hurry!
I will try the key.
Yeah, try it.
It opened. This door too. rows of monitors and buttons. This appears to be old. I believe this computer controls the factory's electronics. It appears to require a key to activate. Broken pipe. You want me to cover this hot hole?
Yes.
You're making me do some dangerous. Perhaps that will work? This won't be easy to cover. It's a broken pipe. Yeah! Oh, it's just as I calculated.
You were surprised, admit it.
A rusted metal door. I think I can open this. This key has
Control panel?
Date.
Less than 1 minute. Hurry!
I will try the key.
Yeah.
Yeah! Oh, it's just as...
You were surprised, admit.
A rusted metal door. Date. A rusted metal door.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
It's a key.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
A door that looks like the... Perhaps we... A door with... Doors...
We leave the second floor.
An oil drum hung...
You have 3 minutes, Date.
A rusted metal... It does not appear to be locked.
So we can't just...
It's a key with a watch. The hands indicate...
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry.
I will try the key.
Yeah, try it.
A broken pipe. Oh! It's just...
You were surprised.
A rusted metal door. I think I can open this door. Rows of monitor. There! Oh!
So?
I see. If we move the scaffold, a new route appears.
Okay, let's move it.
Rows of monitor...
Hey, it got stuck.
This button is indeed the one needed to move the scaffold, but...
Huh. There might be another step we have to do first.
Dante! 30
Door
seconds!
D prime. Date, there is no... Rows of monitor... There! Oh!
So?
I see. If we move the scaffold, a new route appears.
Okay, let's move it.
Dante! 30 seconds!
Door...
Dante, you're out of time!
Date, there is... Rows of monitor... There!
Date! 30 seconds!
Door... Door... Door E...
Date, you're out of time!
Door... Rows of mon... There!
Date!
Door D...
30 seconds!
Door E...
Date, you're out of time!
Door... A rusted metal door...
Break the lock with...
Indeed.
Agent
It's a
Date,
key.
you've got 5 minutes.
And here's the thing, this is why I say this, the Somnium part of the game is stupid. These keys on the floor, they just place them on the floor and you're supposed to select the right one. If you select the wrong one, you see an eyeball. Select the right one, it's a key. Now this is key number 1. At no point in the game prior to anything that has to do with investigation with regards to warehouse or anyone, that the key number 1 was associated with anything that has to do with investigation whatsoever. The game just randomized and selected to put key number 1 as the key that you're supposed to choose as number 1, and the others as simply to block your path. So you wouldn't be able to know this based on anything that has to do with evidence. It just randomly put it here. It's not like when you were looking for the watch and the time of events of the watch was around 8 o'clock. That's different. For the key here, it's a different story. There's no time frame or nothing or none of that. It just randomly put it there, and then they put the timer there just to waste your time. It's stupid. Like, if it's going to be related to critical thinking in regards to evidence, it all has to be related. It can't just be bullshit to put in there to block your path, otherwise it's pointless. Like, the Somnium stuff is halfway done good and halfway done bad. Same as the stuff inside the game itself. It's halfway done good and halfway done bad. That's why I could never put this game into 7. It goes up and down. It's like a freaking joke.
The ice pick is next to this key. It appears to be...
That's what I said.
The tag is...
I was right. Give me...
That must mean...
Come on.
Agent Dante, you've got 4 minutes.
A door that looks like the... A door that looks like... Perhaps we can use the key... A door with... A door with... Door C.
We leave the second floor.
An oil drum hung with
You have 3 minutes, Dante.
a rusted metal door. It's a key with a watch. The hands in...
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry.
The D... I will try... A broken. A rusted metal.
See, this is where I call bullshit on this. The last time I pressed it and I did everything in order, it gave me only 1 second. Now it's giving me 99 and 300 and something seconds. Like
A rusted metal door.
it contradicts its own self. Like if I start this over again from, let's say, the beginning, the first time. So I don't know what it's doing. Maybe it's having pity on you or something and giving you more time. But I don't think that's the case. I just think it's